So Leanne from Little Mix sits down and basically just exposes the music industry for how she has been treated because of the color of her skin. And she also gets very emotional, so trigger warning indeed.
When we were filming Wings, we worked with Frank Gatson. He said to me, "You're the black girl, you have to work 10 times harder."
Hey guys, it's Morali. Hopefully you guys are doing well today. If you haven't already, click that button for daily and consistent content. Head over to my Instagram, Morali, subscribe to the channel, and let's get into this video. Now, for those of you who don't know who Leanne is, she is part of a girl group from the UK called Little Mix, who won the show X Factor with Talisa as, the judge for them. And Leanne has basically shared an passionate message with her fans to really help them understand.
I would need to work harder because of my race. Later on, what Frank Gatson said made sense. I learned that the dream of being in the biggest girl band in the world came with its flaws and consequences. Consequences such as knowing about the existing underlying racism in the creative industries.
The singer broke down as she spoke about her experiences with racism, revealing that she was told in the early days of the band that she would always have to work 10 times as hard as the others because she is the black girl. Damn. She explained there comes a point in every black human's life, no matter how much money you have or what you have achieved, you realize racism does not exclude you. 9 years ago, after joining Little Mix, I had the biggest awakening of my life. When we were filming Wings, we worked with Frank Gatson. He said to me, "You are the black girl, you have to work 10 times harder."
Understand, you can't be seen to be too loud or too opinionated, otherwise you're deemed a diva or aggressive. You learn that by walking into a room, you are deemed unapproachable or offish before anyone has even approached you. My reality is constantly feeling like I have to work 10 times harder and longer to mark my place in the group because my talent alone isn't enough. My reality is wanting to see other artists who I know are so talented but will never get the opportunities I have had because to the industry they are not marketable.
Never in my life had someone told me I would need to work harder because of my race. Later on, what Frank Gatson said made sense. I learned that being in the biggest girl band in the world came with its flaws and consequences. Leanne spoke about her experiences of the underlying racism in the creative industry, saying she couldn't be seen to be too loud or opinionated, or you're deemed immediately as aggressive. She admitted that she feels that some of the fans don't see her when she's on stage, and that she feels that the least favorite member of the band are due to her race. She further explained, "My reality was feeling lonely whilst touring predominantly in white countries. I sing to fans who don't see me or hear me or cheer me on. My reality is feeling anxious before fan events and signings because I always feel like I'm the least favoured. My reality is constantly feeling like I have to work 10 times harder and longer to make my case in the group because my talent isn't enough." She concluded, "My reality is all the times I felt invisible within my group. Part of me is fully aware that my experience would have been even harder to cope with had I been dark-skinned." I'm glad that she made that point. Our reality is no matter how far you think you've come, racism still exists. So let's...
Within the industry, it's like smashing your head against a brick wall. So at events, ceremonies, you learn to take great comfort from rare moments when you meet black creatives who understand this feeling of misplacement that you have inside.
We'll continue to speak up on racism and keep this movement going. Thank you. So she just sits down in this video and she highlights basically her issues that have, not really her issues, but people's issues and how they project them on the people, and just kind of exposing the underlying kind of flaws of racism that you deal with in the music industry. And a lot of people deal with this stuff, but it just seems to be very low key. Very passing comment, very just there, and a throwaway kind of jab that is actually far more effective than people actually think it is. And people obviously, they kind of experience some kind of PTSD with this, because it's like you are being told literally by somebody, you have to work 10 times harder because of the color of your skin, deal with it. And you have to swallow that pill. You shouldn't have to swallow that pill. You shouldn't have to, accept that, because that, it's just really, it's a harsh reality to accept.
My reality was feeling lonely while touring to predominantly white countries. I sing to fans who don't see me or hear me or cheer me on. My reality is feeling anxious before fan events and signings because I always feel like I'm the least favoured.
it makes you then feel like you're left out. Like when you go to, like she's saying, when you talk together, you don't feel like you belong, or you can appeal, or there's no relatability with the crowd, there's no bridge there, and then you just feel lost and you don't feel welcome and you don't understand what's going on. But then at the same time, you have to keep working and recording and performing. It can be very difficult on the mind. It can be very difficult on your mental toll, and it can be just very mentally draining. But Leigh basically sits down, kind of just drags and exposes the music industry and people as well evolved and how they made her feel, and she just wanted to talk about it. And I'm glad that she is, because she isn't the only one. There are other people now who are also making their comments in relation to being in the music industry as well, and I will get into that later today. But I wanted to start with this topic because I feel like this was actually very important, which is why they have been trending for so long, especially yesterday, due to other reasons as well, like Tommy Robinson just being an absolute clown. But anyways, let me know what your thoughts are when it comes to this. Do you guys listen to Little Mix? Do you guys know who Leigh is? Comment down below, and I'll catch you guys soon for another video.